I just think that what we have to understand is that a comedian is a court gesture, right? These people are supposed to come in, they're supposed to spark conversation, but every joke sometimes has truth in it too. And I think sometimes you have to put the medicine in the candy. And Kat did that. Kat told you what 2024 will be. And this was already brewing in 2023. 2023, some of the biggest names that we saw were already getting exposed. Puff. Whether you thought with Puff that was true or not, seeing that be exposed, it's like, dang, okay, Kat is just further confirming these things. TD Jakes. We're not saying it's true. We're not saying it's false. But seeing these things be attacked, it was already brewing in 2023. In 2024, Kat confirmed it's the year of the cat. He's showing you, like, listen, the truth will be exposed. He said, you have an unnatural allegiance to losers. I said, yo, that's heavy. And I think what Kat was doing, Kat was giving us a masterclass. Kat was showing us, do you value relationships with people that you don't even line up with morally? Or do you line up with your own morals more? What do you value more? Do you value Hollywood or do you value yourself? And hearing Kat's story about him being homeless and having to go through that and hitchhiking as a kid at 12, 13, going to South Florida, trying to find a way, and going to Sacramento, working on his craft, going to, I think, Kansas City, he said, then going to LA, Oakland, so then he could learn how to rock black clubs, white clubs. But people have to understand, you can call Kat bitter, whatever. Kat has worked on his craft. And I think once a certain individual has worked on their craft for so long and molds that craft and hones in on that craft, they have a different level of appreciation for said craft. Good people. Hey, what's up? What's good, man? Happy 2024. Man, first off, man, I have to say from the bottom of my heart, 2023, it was absolutely amazing. I appreciate all the family, all the supporters, man, across the world. It was our biggest year yet. We almost crossed over the 1 million view mark in just one single year. That's not possible without you guys. We're currently almost at 10K subs. So, man, I appreciate y'all so greatly. Man, now 2024, man, I listen to the people. I got you guys. You are going to get more of these type of conversations. Chilling with Caleb, just me and you chilling, us having a great family type of discussion about current topics, current events, and just seeing me at least once or twice a week. So, man, we will be chopping it up on a regular basis. But, man, before we even get started, I just want to say, again, I thank you greatly because this platform would not exist for it. You're always tuning in, showing love and support, tapping into the content. It would not be possible without you. So before we get started with Chilling with Caleb, I had to give you your flowers. I want to tell you 2024 is going to be 2020 more for you. All the work that you've been putting in as well is about to come to fruition. So let's get started with today's show, baby. The first Chilling with Caleb, first episode of the new year, 2024. This year, I would like to call the year of the cat. The year of the cat, man. Katt Williams, bro. He bodied it. Shannon Sharpe, as well, seeing Shannon Sharpe go in. And he told us, man, I love watching Nightcap, man, with Unc and Ocho. And Unc, man, he told us at the end of Nightcap of 2023, y'all, 2024, I'm going to break the internet. He said, man, this guest is going to be a really, really big guest. Y'all ain't ready for this. And, man, I remember during that time, I was like, dang, Unc, who could it be? Who could it be? Man, what they say, cat's out the bag, yo. Katt, he bodied it, man. And, before we even address Katt, we got to address Unc. Shannon Sharpe, at the midway mark of 2023 after Fox Sports, we didn't know where he was headed. We didn't know what his future trajectory was looking like. We didn't know what was going to happen. And Shannon Sharpe truly pivoted. Like, he did it masterfully, man. It was crazy just seeing him because from Fox Sports, we didn't know what was going to happen next. During that initial moment with Skip Bayless, we thought in that moment that he should have spoke up, but not realizing that he was playing chess. And now look at him, less than a year later, he was voted the #1 sports personality in media right now. So just seeing what he's done as a black man to another black man, I appreciate you for everything that you're doing currently in this space, from one Georgia boy to another. I'm proud of you, and it's only just the beginning. But seeing what he's done with his platform and then turning that into its own enterprise, if you will, and still doing mainstream media on First Take, I think Mondays to Tuesdays or Mondays to Wednesdays, if I'm not mistaken. And seeing him do this on a consistent basis on his grind is just a beautiful thing to see. So, Unc told you, man, Nightcap, killing it on there, killing it, amazing platform. And then now branching off, Club Shay Shay as well, nurturing that platform. He told you what was going to happen. He said, y'all, I'm about to break the internet. And sir, you have the interview of the year already in the first few days of 2024. It's already done. I don't care what anybody else does. The fact that he did it, the current moment in time, being in the zeitgeist of killing this, you can't top it. I don't care what happens, because to amass 23 million plus views in just 48 plus hours, man, that's amazing. And doing it with a person who barely does interviews. And the last time we saw Katt on an interview, and I know this from personal experience living here in Atlanta, V103, he just dismantled that whole platform, if you will. Wanda Smith basically got fired because of that, her reaction, and allegedly with her husband being outside with a gun trying to get to Katt. That's how you know you won as a comedian. Frank Ski not being on V103 anymore. I think that interview played a very large part in that. And when I was scrolling on YouTube, y'all, and I saw an upcoming Katt Williams, I said, uh-oh, this about to be a good one. Because if you know Katt, he does not hold back, man. And starting off that interview, and Unc, he previewed it. He told us on Unc and Ocho on Nightcap, y'all, listen, I only asked one question, and my guest went on for 35 minutes, and he said, yo, they was going crazy, and it was Katt. And for all the people who were trying to critique Shannon Sharpe and say that he didn't do good, what people have to understand in this current space, you have a lot of podcasters, you have a lot of content creators who are not real journalists. And these people, gratefully, I was able to go to school and major in journalism and mass media. And I was able to learn the art of interviewing people and doing your own due diligence and doing great research. But the average person doesn't do that. And seeing what Shannon Sharpe has been able to do is true excellence. And we've been in a space to where we've seen certain hosts overtalk people. We've been in this space of seeing the host talking more than the guest, and we've started to think that that's normal, and that's not. Shannon practiced great journalism. Even if he doesn't consider himself a journalist, he's doing journalistic things, and just letting a person cook is so important on a platform. You gotta let your guests cook. My grandmother, man, she used to tell me, and my older brother Zach, that God gave you 2 ears, he gave you 2 nostrils, 2 eyes for a reason, and 1 mouth for a reason. You're supposed to listen, hear, smell, touch, all these things twice more than what you're supposed to speak. So you're supposed to absorb the information. Your job as a host is to guide the conversation, but let the guest lead you as well. Let the guest flow too. And you know, with Shannon, you saw he had the cue cards, but in that same moment, he saw, okay, Katt, he going over here, so I gotta follow him. We about to go over there too. So man, you gotta go with the flow. And seeing Shannon do that for 2 hours and 46 minutes, that's not easy to do. Most of you guys can't even have a real thoughtful, meaningful conversation with a person for 5 minutes. So for all the people that's trying to knock him for that, being engaged, actively engaged, asking questions at the right time. And if he did such a bad job, then why are you seeing it so much on your timeline? Ask yourself that. If Shannon Sharpe did such a bad job, why are you seeing all the clips on your timeline? Why are you posting the memes? He did what he was supposed to do. He got into the public's zeitgeist. He got into the conversation. He stirred controversy. I'm not saying to always stir that, but he led what was supposed to be led, and he did what was supposed to be done. And now his platform is reaping immensely from this one conversation. And he doesn't have to do anything for the rest of the year because it's already done. He amassed the views, conversations that most people dream of, and he did that in the first few days of the year. So he already attacked 2024. Unc is winning. Katt, man, listen, bro, listen. The year of the Katt. Katt Williams did not hold back. And I think that 2024, and this was already brewing in 2023, if you will, of this current space of exposing the truth. Katt exposed a lot, and he wasn't afraid to talk about whether it was Diddy, TD Jakes, whether it was Steve Harvey, Ludacris, and the whole Illuminati meeting. That was hilarious. man, just any and everything. Katt did not hold back. Meg Thee Stallion. And I think right now, even if you don't agree with Katt's approach, what he said, it's a breath of fresh air seeing real people having real conversations. And I think that that's why this interview exploded in the manner that it did, because it was a breath of fresh air. Because we've been around so many people who are faking it, or so many people that's not trying to say how they really feel about this person, that person, because these people are gatekeepers. And saying a person is a gatekeeper sometimes can have a negative connotation to it, of course. But I think as well, sometimes it's true. Like, if you can control somebody's opportunities, whether you can put somebody on or hold opportunities from somebody, even if you do it unknowingly, that inadvertently makes you a gatekeeper. And I loved how he even spoke about Tyler Perry. Like, we've had these same critiques. Like, if you watch Tyler Perry's shows, it says written, directed, all by Tyler Perry. And I'm not knocking the brother's hustle at all, but I think that we also have to allow room for other creatives to come in and other creatives to disrupt things as well. And hearing what he said about Steve Harvey, hearing what he said about Ricky Smiley, right? And Cedric the Entertainer, of course, and seeing them play back and compare the whole car ride joke when Katt was talking about that, and then seeing those things, it's like, yo, Katt wasn't lying, right? Hanging with Mr. Cooper and Steve Harvey and Steve Harvey show, Steve Harvey's toupee. Like, I just think that what we have to understand is that a comedian is a court gesture, right? These people are supposed to come in, they're supposed to spark conversation, but every joke sometimes has truth in it too. And I think sometimes you have to put the medicine in the candy. And Katt did that. Katt told you what 2024 will be. And this was already brewing in 2023. 2023, some of the biggest names that we saw were already getting exposed. Puff, whether you thought with Puff that was true or not, seeing that be exposed, it's like, dang, okay, Katt is just further confirming these things. TD Jakes, we're not saying it's true, we're not saying it's false, but seeing these things be attacked, it was already brewing in 2023. And 2024, Katt confirmed it's the year of the cat. He's showing you, like, listen, the truth will be exposed. He said, you have an unnatural allegiance to losers. I said, yo, that's heavy. And I think what Katt was doing, Katt was giving us a masterclass. Katt was showing us, do you value relationships with people that you don't even line up with morally? Or do you line up with your own morals more? What do you value more? Do you value Hollywood or do you value yourself? And hearing Katt's story about him being homeless and having to go through that, and hitchhiking as a kid at 12, 13, going to South Florida trying to find a way, and going to Sacramento working on his craft, going to, I think, Kansas City, he said, then going to LA, Oakland, so then he can learn how to rock black clubs, white clubs. But people have to understand, you can call Katt bitter, whatever. Katt has worked on his craft. And I think once a certain individual has worked on their craft for so long and molds that craft and hones in on that craft, they have a different level of appreciation for said craft. And when they see certain things that they don't agree with the joke stealing or whatever, they're going to speak out because they have a different level of care, because that's what they do. Bernie Mac, I love how he stood up for the great and late Bernie Mac. And we do know about Steve Harvey and Bernie having some friction. We do know allegedly about some jealousy taking place between Steve being jealous towards Bernie. And if you look at Kings of Comedy, who had the funniest set, it was Bernie. He brought the house down, milk and cookies. Come on. Like, Bernie had jokes that we remember to this day. The Bernie Mac show, I remember seeing that show every week growing up. Like, that was the top show in America, and it's a black man who had it. Bernie was the man. And I think Katt further confirmed that these people aren't who you think that they are. And sometimes it takes a person pulling back the veil. And I think that Katt, he confirmed that for us. And I'm not saying that we have to pick sides, but I think that one of the most important things that a journalist does is present information, and you decide who's right and who's wrong. And I think Katt, he was our reporter in that moment for 2024. Katt showed us, man, off the rip what this year, what it was going to be about, what type of time that we were going to be on, that we were going to be in a moment in time where things are being exposed. We were going to be in a moment in time where you have to be unapologetic. And I think that when people have started using those memes, like if you see me taking that sip of that Shea by Le Portier, shout out to Shannon Sharpe, you know what type of time I'm on. And I think that it's okay. It's okay to speak your truth. And we have to stop being afraid, because I'm telling you, man, people are reluctant to speak their truth because of relationships. People are trying to be tied in with this type of person, that type of person. Puff, why do you think, if it is true, he got away with it for so long? Because of people saying, I need that deal with Revolt. I need this deal with Ciroc. You start valuing capitalism over your own morals. You start valuing that over your own people, because it's like, I gotta eat. Katt showing you I'm eating on my own. Katt said I don't even do interviews. Katt said I don't do radio promo because I'm already tapped in with the people. Katt said I go out to these cities when I'm already touring, get in touch with the people. That's why I keep getting arrested so much, because I'm outside getting in touch with the people. And just being honest, man, whether it's Kevin Hart, Steve, Said, who's funnier? Katt. Growing up, my generation especially, I just turned 27. Our generation, man, Katt was that guy, bro. You talking about the Boondocks. You talking about Friday. You're talking about First Sunday. Katt bodied every role. What was it? I think School Dance with Nick Cannon, where he said, whose white baby is that? That's not my baby. He said that baby's from the Caucasus Mountains. Like, Katt has moments. He's iconic. And I think that's what makes Katt dangerous, because Katt is a person who can go on that stage. Katt is a person who can body that and then tell you, I'm not rocking with so-and-so, and I'm still funnier than you too. But seeing this was a breath of fresh air, man. It was a fun conversation. It was a conversation that was needed. It was very engaging. And that is what makes a comedian dangerous. They can keep you engaged. They can be funny, but they can keep dropping truth in there to where you can absorb that truth easily. And then Katt's trying to show you how to apply that truth. And I think that we have to understand as well that Katt is a very complex individual too. Learning that, man, this dude was a young prodigy, and he chose to not take that path of being in science and all that other stuff, and to be a comedian. And his parents were super religious, and he had to walk away from that because it was too much for him. From seeing what a person has to deal with from thing after thing after thing, then shows you why they have been molded into the person that they are today. It's like, oh, that's why Katt is so rebellious, because he grew up in so many different confines. That's why Katt cares about this craft so much, because it saved his life. That's why Katt cared about Ricky Smiley talking about I was supposed to be Money Mike so much, because Katt said that he had a chain holding up his young son. The chain hit his teeth and his teeth got knocked out, and he couldn't afford getting his teeth fixed during that time. It was like $100,000 he had said. So from then saying I needed this, him and Terry Crews talking, and Terry Crews letting Shannon Sharpe know that Katt was living out of the film trailer. He was living out of that. He had to live out of that. So you can only understand when a person finally makes it, when they finally hit that moment, why it matters so much to them, because they had to go through so much to even accumulate that type of success. So seeing what Katt has been able to do, and do it on a consistent basis and work extremely hard. Yeah, you don't have to agree with every comedian. They don't have to like each other. But I appreciate Katt's greatness even more. I appreciate Katt's honesty even more. I appreciate what he's done for the community, man, what people don't talk about. His philanthropic works, or giving back to the children and adopting children. Like, he didn't have to do any of those things, and he doesn't talk about it. With the Migos, he basically tried to brush off the whole giving the Migos alone, fronting them money. So it's just hearing some of those stories, it's like, dang, Katt was really outside, man, and he's still outside. And I think Katt, what we have to appreciate as well is all the moments that he's given us, whether it's the memes of the kid choking the powder, walking out of jail with the perm messed up, getting an Emmy on Atlanta, Florida Man, Alligator Man. It's just, Katt is that guy on the Boondocks, pimp named Slickback. Like, he's the man. He's the man. And what I appreciated was seeing him sit down and feeling comfortable. And that's what makes black media so important. Like, it's so many different things that we can take from this one interview. The power of black media, right? The fact that Katt didn't do this on a 60 Minutes NBC. He did this on Club Shay Shay. He did this on a fellow black man's platform. That's now going to further empower Shannon Sharpe's brand, Shannon Sharpe's platform. This is further going to empower Katt's platform now. Everybody won from this situation. And if you feel like you support the interview, if you don't support it, if you feel indifferent about it, you're still part of this public conversation. I'm part of this conversation, right? Katt destroyed the algorithm at that. Katt hasn't posted any clips on his Instagram page. Katt hasn't posted, Shannon Sharpe said, and you can look this up, I think, since 2020. So Katt's not even posting on his pages. So Katt is showing all what these social media gurus are telling you. Katt's not active on social media. But that shows Katt's connection to the people. And I think that that's what's so invaluable is if you are connected to the people, it doesn't matter what type of algorithm there is. It doesn't matter what type of AI there is. It doesn't matter what type of support. If you have the real support of the people, if you're actually boots on the ground, that's the support that's going to take you further. You can not be active on social media, but then when they do see you on social media, it's time to connect to the people. Harvey Weinstein, right? Hearing Katt talk about that, what does that show you? You could say Katt, he was embellishing, sure, or if he was telling the truth. How many men, specifically black men, have given up their own, say, bodies or morals for a certain type of role, certain type of prosperity, just to get ahead? But then they can't live with themselves because you gave up something, right? You gave up who you are. You gave up your man. So think about that for a second. What are you willing to sacrifice for deemed success? That's what Katt was exposing. And Katt showing you can still be successful by being independent. You can still be successful by doing it your way. But the moment that you do it their way, then you're stuck doing it their way because you will never have peace. Even if you try to go back to doing it your way, it's too late because you've already been compromised. They've already compromised you. You can be as independent as you want to be, and they know that that threat has already been neutralized. That's the beauty of that conversation. You got to do it your way. It's not going to be easy. There's going to be moments where it's trying. There's going to be moments of being broke. There's going to be moments of feeling like I've had enough. But once you sell your soul, are you at peace? You think that that's the solution. Once I make it, once I do X, Y, Z, once this person gives me an opportunity, think about that. You know that you're talented. Who has to give you an opportunity? Katt funded his own special, about $25K at the time. I think he said he had $25,000 to his name. He put $20,000 into his special. So now we're already down to $5K. You don't know where the next check is coming from. But I funded it myself. So now I know how much this costs, how much it costs to have that type of camera, how much it costs to have that type of sound engineering, this editor, this production company. Now I know all the pricing. That's the beauty of being independent, because now I know the information. The value is in the information. Shannon Sharpe, he's seeing that now by him having his own media platform, his own media company. Now he sees, when Fox Sports was trying to do X, Y, Z, now I see the play. The power is in being independent. I'm not saying that you don't ever have to work with any type of media conglomerate. No, but what I am saying is at least try being independent first. So then once you do go into those boardrooms, now you know the information. Now it's less easy to play you because you know all the ins and outs. You know all the terminology. You know the lingo. You know how to keep things in the black and not in the red. You know the information, and now you can apply the information, which makes you more of a threat. And not only that, you don't need them. They need you now. Now you can come to the board like, hey, here are my terms. Take it or leave it. It's a different type of independence. And as black creators, that's what we need. Independence. We need our own platforms where our people feel comfortable. We need our own system. Shea by LaPortier sold out. Why? That's no coincidence. What are they drinking throughout that interview? Shannon Sharpe's cognac. Why give somebody else ads? Right? I'm not saying don't have ads, sure, but why not boost your own stuff in those ads too, right? So push this information. Be independent first. Understand that type of game. And that's what Katt is trying to show you. Like, once I got my own stuff, I don't need this per se. Katt can keep getting arrested. Katt can keep calling out people. And at the end of the day, his show's still gonna sell out. He has his own infrastructure. Netflix, getting those deals, getting that back. He has his own infrastructure in place. And that's what we need. We need our own systems. We need our own governing bodies, right? So, man, shout out to Katt for that. That's what we need. Take that from the interview. Independence, man. And stand on your square unapologetically. Like, you don't have to apologize for speaking your truth. And I'm learning that, honestly, y'all, in this current season of my life. Like, you got to put yourself first. You got to speak your own truth, because why compromise to massage somebody else's ego who already don't F with you anyways, right? Put your ideas, your vision first. You got to take care of you. And by you taking care of you, you can then better take care of everybody else around you. But imagine if Katt just, I'm gonna just be quiet behind the scenes. Now he's propelled his entire brand off of what? Speaking his truth. They say standing on business, right? That's what Katt was doing. Katt was the true definition of standing on business. Shannon Sharpe with Skip Bayless. What'd he say? I had enough, right? I gotta put me first. I had to put myself first. I'm doing myself a disservice by minimizing who I am. 3-time Super Bowl champion, Hall of Famer, arguably the greatest tight end who ever played. I'm minimizing myself talking across from a man who averaged 1 point a game in high school, and he's built his career, let's just be honest, off of criticizing LeBron unfairly. And I'm minimizing myself, and I'm going to allow you to minimize me on public television just to make you more comfortable. I can't compromise that. I can't. And y'all, how many of us in life have gone out compromising who we were, minimizing who we were, to massage our boss's ego, our friend's ego, girlfriend, boyfriend, husband, wife, cousin, whoever, because we don't want to make them uncomfortable. No. Don't make yourself uncomfortable. You be better to yourself. You treat yourself better. You love yourself better. And in that moment, I saw 2 black men loving themselves, loving the conversation, enjoying the conversation. We don't have to agree on everything. We don't have to disagree on everything. We just have to be engaged. I'm listening to you. You're listening to me. Katt gave Shannon his flowers. He said, I watched the show. I felt comfortable to even come on this show. Shannon, I got a legend in the building. Exchange flowers. Y'all know in those moments where we say, nah, I'm trying to be like you. No, accept those flowers. Say, if a young dude come up to you, young brother, yo, you fresh. I'm proud of you. Like, you killing the game. Say, thank you. I know. I appreciate that. You killing it too. Like, accept those things. Because during those times where we don't accept it, what are we doing to ourselves? Oh, I'm not worthy of praise. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. So Shannon Sharpe, you are worthy of praise. Katt Williams, you are worthy of praise. You who's tuning in right now, you are worthy of praise. I appreciate you tuning into the content. You are worthy of praise. We gotta salute each other. We gotta praise each other. We gotta love on each other. Those factors are so important towards our development of our minds, our spirits. We aren't done until we're dead. And then even after that, there's more development that has to take place in the afterlife. So Katt Williams, man, he bodied it, bro. It's the year of the cat. He exposed so much. And this year, further things will be exposed to us. And that's why during this time, we got to continuously live our truth. Because if you don't, the truth will always be exposed. Sooner or later, or in between, it will be exposed. Live your truth, man. Be truthful. Have fun. Stand on your square. Stand on your square. Because what Drewski say, army of one, it's okay. It's okay to be an army of one if you have to be. Because somebody has to let loose. Because we can't continuously compromise who we are. We can't keep being uncomfortable trying to make other people comfortable. We can't keep lying to each other. Like, if we know somebody was foul and somebody was wrong, it's up to us to speak up. If we don't speak up, we're just as complicit. With Puff, what y'all been saying? Oh, all the men who were around, if they weren't speaking up, you were just as guilty. So whether it's in the comedy space, the content space, if you aren't speaking up, you were just as guilty. And content creators, Shannon Sharpe is showing y'all a blueprint. Of course, some of us may not be as prominent as Shannon Sharpe. Some of us may not be as popular, but what Shannon Sharpe is showing us is you got to be consistent. Focus on building up your own platform. So take those resources. So the resources that he's taken from that 9-to-5, previously at a Fox Sports, currently at a ESPN, is applying towards his brand with Club Shay Shay, towards Nightcap, towards the volume. And imagine, right, if Fox Sports owned his podcast right now still. So the 23 million views, all that ad dollars, all of the profit would then be going right back to the monster. But instead, I'm independent, right? Independence. Think about that. I'm independent. And all of these funds is going towards funding my own platform again. And then it just keeps recycling. So now I can continuously put out more content that I own, which makes me more of a threat. So then when it's time to renegotiate with a First Take after 1 year, I got more power because I can walk away from this and I can just full-time Club Shay Shay nightcap. So I got way more leverage opposed to all I am is for you. ESPN, Stephen A. Smith, legend. Love Stephen A. But Stephen A. is running that very dangerous risk of my podcast is in partnership with ESPN. Shannon Sharpe is, mine is independent. That's the power. Our power is in knowing already that we are the sauce. Yeah, it's a little bit more seasoning, if you will, if I have a big name attached to it. But at the end of the day, the more I continuously grow this brand, even my own, in this own situation, I become more powerful. I'm more dangerous in a good way. I'm more independent. I'm not begging. I'm creating my own opportunities. I'm creating jobs for people who look like me. Shannon Sharpe doing the same. Like, we have to create our own ecosystems. We talk about a Black Wall Street, but what are we doing right now? What are we doing with our cell phones? What are we doing with our cameras, our creative minds, our photographers, our painters, our musicians, our poets? What are we doing? What are we cultivating? So let Shannon Sharpe inspire you. Let Katt Williams inspire you during this time. What are we cultivating? What are we creating? Ask ourselves that. Who are we inspiring? What opportunities are we creating? Are we even being consistent? How come you haven't been posting? Why'd you stop filming your podcast? Why'd you stop filming your content? You didn't have enough resources? Create them. I'm not saying it's easy, but what is easy that's worth having? You get up to go to work every day. Get up to work for yourself too during those times. Build, create. I'm not saying that you have to be this famous celebrity, and you may not be able to get a person of Katt Williams' caliber on your show, but that's what makes you even better. If you make it off of you, a person who's not famous, that's 10 times more impressive. Because you don't have access to the celebrities, but build the access. Build the access to have your own type of guest on your show. Blow up what you got going on. But take this information. Year of the Cat, man. Katt Williams has exposed so much. Seeing everybody trying to respond, and that shows a lot too, because apparently he hit a nerve. Ice Cube did not refute anything that he said either, man, about Money Mike. Katt Williams embodies characters. He has fun with those characters, as we see, and we got to give Katt his flowers, man. Katt is a legend, and I wish Shannon Sharpe much success, and I also wish them happiness and joy, and enjoy this moment in time, man. Shannon Sharpe was just voted #1 sports media personality by Complex, and he's further confirming that right now. And seeing what he's doing with Nightcap, with him and Gil, with the NBA specials, Uncle Ocho, NFL, I just want to keep seeing them explode. And Katt, I want to keep seeing him explode. And as you know now, his show's going to be sold out even more. His brand, everything. So, man, optimize these moments. Talk about these moments. And I think that Karen Hunter, man, she said this on her show. I think she said Sonia Sanchez has said this. They were on In Class with Car. How does this free us, right? And I think that what we have to do is veer everything, these type of viral moments, these type of conversations, to how does this free us? We can analyze every and anything and ask, okay, what can I take out of this situation? And how does this free us as a people? This Katt Williams situation, we can apply that towards, okay, what can we take out of this? How does this free us as a people? We can critique and say, hey, why are we always fighting? But we can also critique and say, okay, I see what Katt's saying. Why aren't we more independent? Why aren't we creating more opportunities for each other? Why aren't we putting more people on? Why are we stealing intellectual property from each other? Why are we not giving each other credit? Why are we even competing in the manner that we're competing in? How can we fix these small things and turn each other into bigger things? How can we become more successful working together? How can I become a better interviewer, right? I think that people need to study what Shannon did. That takes a lot of selflessness, a lot of ego pushed to the side, that I'm going to let you talk on my show for the first 35 minutes. Why? Because it's not me. It's not about me. It's about you. That's why I have a guest on this platform, right? This is who you came to see. Yes, I'm part of that, but this is who you came to see. Let him cook. So young podcasters out there, creatives, let your guests cook. Don't cut them off. They will guide you. They will give you a bridge to the next question. They can guide you to a whole nother part of the conversation that you never even thought of, which is going to make it 10 times better, because they're open and they're constantly talking and they're feeling comfortable. So let them feel more comfortable. And now they're going to want to come back. And now you have other people who's watching, and they'll say, yo, if he let him talk, I want to be on the platform. And now you don't even have to contact people no more. Now all the heavy hitters and all the people who you wanted in the first place, now they're contacting you. let your guests cook, man. But, man, in closing, I always try to find a way that we can better ourselves from everything that we see. There's a message to be gained from everything. And this message was 2024 is the year of truth, exposure. Stand on your square, live unapologetic, and let people cook, man. Sit back, be selfless, and by you being selfless, you will reap the rewards. By Shannon Sharpe being selfless in that moment, he reaped all the rewards. He didn't make it about him. Put you first, but don't make everything about you either. It's always a fine balance. Man, I appreciate y'all. This was the first session of Chillin With Caleb of the year, 2024. I promise y'all we will be doing this once a week in reviews. I got y'all on a very consistent basis on top of the great interviews that you guys have been seeing as well. We're not playing, man. 2023 we almost got 1 million views on the channel. So 2024, man, we about to double that, triple that. Hey, we about to go crazy. So I appreciate y'all. We have a lot of special things on the way. But man, I love y'all and I thank y'all. Blessed be your host, Caleb Smith. Until next time, much love. Peace.